I'm heading into school today to get some stuff done during holidays. Teacher life. My learning space this year is right down the back end of the school. Good for exercise and close to our new maker space, which is good. But I've had a sticky beak at my team's rooms, which are coming along pretty well. And I'm going to show you some of my space and how I'm going to be developing it. Okay, so it's neat and tidy. I'm going to shut this door in case anyone else is working. I don't want to disturb them. They've got nice clear view of my team for this year and their rooms using my windows, but you can see I'm not set up just yet. I've brought a bunch of stuff in today, some of which you saw in my other videos, presents and things that I got, displays and stuff, but otherwise I'm not set up. I need to clean the board. I need to sort out my crap pile here that doesn't really have an allocated space. I've got some more things sitting over there that need to be sorted. It was my prize box last year. I think I'll keep using it as my prize box this year. I have a computer desk, which I'm going to use that more as a student space than my own, because I have my Surface Pro in my bag over there and I like sitting in my chairs and things. I've got to decide where I'm going to store these things if there's not room here for it. I mean, there might be a need for me to use these, maybe not. I do have my own AP office that I can store it in, so I might be able to put it there. That's going to be my recycle box. But, haha, that still says Christmas. So I can choose if I want to turn this around so that kids, when they're working outside, can see it. Maybe I could put some motivational quotes or something on there, hang it up. I've got some wall space here I can use, but I do have a display board over there I can use as well. So I'm going to need to make some labels for my trays, which are at the moment just storing stuff till I sort it out. So I'm going to allocate a drawer that's like my stationery stuff, because you guys know I don't really have a teacher's desk and I am not going to clutter that up with all of my pens and pencils and whatnot. I may put it at the top of this up here. I've got my basket with all my anchor charts and things on there, kind of full of rubbish at the moment, so I need to sort that one out. That over there obviously is going to be able to store books and resources and games and things. That's what I've got it set up for. My xylophone for curbing noise and getting attention when I want to. This is the one I spoke about in my managing noise video. I like this because it gives you 8 counts for the kids to pay attention. If they haven't done it by the 8th one, then they're not paying attention and taking too long. I love this. This is my sticker container. So I keep my stickers in, or my main source of stickers in there. And then when I need to restock it, one of my drawers over there has got the rest of them. So I've got a monthly planner that I'm going to stick up. And it's got some hooks on the back there that I can use, but I could probably use that space over there with a 3M hook so that I don't damage the paint. I really need to decide what I want to use this for, because it's big and I still don't know yet if I'm going to have small groups in here or larger groups, or what kind of a space this will eventually work as. This though I can have kids at once I've cleaned it off. You can see it's a adjustable table and it's set up a bit high because I'm going to be working with 5-6 kids. This at the moment is just storing stuff, my drum, but it's quite solid. I can turn that upside down and use it as a table if I want to. Gym ball I need to blow up, but I've got some cool things in here. I found this. Yeah, it's a cactus, but you know, I've got clever pickles, so I think I might cut the arms off and use it as a pickle. This is pretty cool. This is going to be my clock in here. Oh, sit up. That looks good. I like him. And then you saw a lot of my other things as well from my other video. That's all in here. That's my calendar, Bit of a Marvel sign. You know what? Kids love plush toys at any age. I got this from Kmart. So yes, I'm keeping these for year 5, 6 because everyone loves a dinosaur. These ones are good though for my social lessons with the kids if I'm doing any kind of emotional stuff with them. Where is the green sheep? There he is. I'm going to be using those as well. And I've got some other random stationery and things in there too. I'm a Class Dojo ambassador. So they've sent me some things. I have stickers in here somewhere. There's my ambassador sticker. Yay! That's me! Okay, so you can see it's a small room, but I've made it quite spacious so far. It'll be more spacious once all my stuff is put away. But realistically, you know, that little board over there is not the kind of display you're necessarily going to have in your regular classroom. You're going to have a bigger space, you're going to have more wall space. So I'm going to sneak into one of the other classrooms that hasn't put their displays up yet, and we're going to have a chat about what will work, not necessarily for them, but what will work in general for most teachers in terms of starting a display. Okay, so this is what the outside of our classrooms look like. That's the door that they can go into, and they've got bag hooks there, which I hate, by the way. We're going to be changing those because they don't store too many bags, unfortunately. That's an old school design. But we've got that big space there that works as a pin board, or you could put Velcro on there, and usually that's your welcome to design. The best one I saw last year was from one of my year 1 teachers, she'll know who she is, who did a timeline on there, and then photos of what the class did throughout the entire year was displayed. So they went from one side to the other, starting with, well, February really, but it went term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and it went up and down, you know, like you would with a normal timeline, and it just had different events and activities and things they did throughout the year. So it had welcome to class, blah, and then the teacher's name, and then this awesome display that grew as the year went on. It was really, really cool. Other ones have just put, you know, you saw mine was really basic. Welcome to Two Topaz with Mrs. West. It was plain. But that was because I wanted to move my door, open and close, because that does slide open. It moves over in front of that wooden wall there. It has the capability to do that if you want it to. So, I mean, that's an option for your front door if you've got one. This is one of the storage cupboards that we have in all of our classrooms. They've been painted, but we're going to get a lot of them repainted because you can get chalkboard paint in any color now. So we've got this blue, you can see the blue on the back of the door there, that dark blue color that we've got, but you can get it any color. You go to Bunnings, and it works as chalkboard paint. So we can paint those up, and then the kids can use that as a resource to brainstorm or mind map, or use it as a word wall or word bank if they're trying to, and then they can write on those as well. So I would be utilizing that as a display that the students would engage with. I wouldn't be using that for your word wall or anything, because you can see it's in the corner there, and it's not really an easy space for the kids to access, especially if you're going to be going in and out and getting things out of that cupboard. So that way the kids can write on it, whatever, and it's just constantly changing. So if you're in a classroom like this, chances are you've got a space in the room that pretty much has your main wall. This one. This is also a door that can slide open and close. So when teachers are putting things on this side, they need to make sure it's flush, no big pins sticking out, because otherwise this door won't be able to open, or at least if it does, it's going to rip things off it. I'm going to flip the camera around. Okay, so I don't know why, but it's not showing up the nice green that this actually is. Oh, that's a bit better if I change where I stand. So on this wall, this is your opportunity to use those divides to create different displays. Now, when you do this, you can see it here. There's the seam there. There's another one here and another one down that end there. Use those as your natural divides, because if you're putting things sort of across the top of this, the eye isn't naturally going to flow to it. So this one here has one divide down the middle there where the eye naturally flows. I'm just going to step back so you can see, because I mean, if I'm a student down the front of the room looking at the back there, your eye naturally sees those pieces as separate. So you want to do that, because that way the brain is just naturally processing that information according to it. So it's in that portrait shape that's going down. If you're going to have things going across that way, just not going to flow as well. But again, you know, it's up to you. You do it your own way. So I would recommend these teachers use some kind of segmentation to do that. So I've already been into some other rooms where they've got some great borders using those lines there. I'm going to see if I can get permission from them to film for another video later on and we do some classroom tours. Okay, so when you're starting your displays as well, you should just be doing that, starting them. If the kids come in on day one and that whole wall looks completely full, it's just going to be a blur to them. It's just going to look like a collage and it's just going to be a crazy mess. And if they don't have any kind of contribution to that wall as it's made, it doesn't have as much meaning for them as opposed to the fact that you've walked in and the room looks beautiful. Wow, this teacher has a great room. It's their room, it's the teacher's room, it's not my room. So start it. I would say have your borders, they're ready to go, have headings. So if you have a word wall, you'd have the title word wall, have your alphabet up, maybe with some pictures to go with it, you know, like an apple that goes with the A section or whatever. But don't have all the words ready to go. Have some activities planned that go with it that utilize those words and then they go up there. And if the kids are physically putting their pin in that tag themselves and sticking it in, it has more meaning. They have that memory of putting it in. They have that memory of the activity that went with it. And then it becomes their word wall, not your word wall. You want it to be their display. And the same goes with, you know, work. If you've got beautiful student work that you want to hang up, I know it's harder with the littlies, but especially if you've got older kids like we're going to be having this year, get them to stick it up themselves. They're so proud of it. Then they want to look at each other's work and show it off and make sure it has some kind of way of knowing that it's theirs. You don't have to have their name on it, but if it's got an illustration that they know that's theirs or a fancy heading that they know is theirs, then that's a good way of doing it as well. And utilize that space. So when those students walk in every morning, they go, wow, look at my stuff that's up there. Look at our stuff that's up there. Look at what we created together. Not look at what the teacher did on their own during the holidays and now it looks pretty and I'm never going to look at it again because, you know, it's not as meaningful to me. This string, where is it? I'm pretty tall. So when I walk into classrooms, especially kindy rooms, I generally have to duck. In these rooms though, it's pretty good. They're up nice and high, easy for me to reach. I don't have to get on a chair to put things up there. When I do hang things up here though, you can see, I usually get 2 students' work stuck together and I connect the top together either with sticky tape or blue tack or staple, whatever, and then lay it over the top. No pegs or anything, don't have to worry about it, don't have to worry about the fan blowing it off. They just go over that way. It's really, really simple. But I like the fact that in here, I don't know if you can see, they've been strung up in a zigzag pattern going across that way. So it's really good for segmenting where the artworks or student work or whatever goes. So I can have a section going across one there, another one going across one there, or I can use that whole side for one thing. It's really good. So if you've got a GA, I'll just show you the hooks that they've used. Just get in there a bit. It's just a standard hook in there and it's just strung across. So if you want to show this to your GA and see if you can get that up, it's really good. And me personally, I like them up high so I don't have to duck. Windows are a good source of display space as well if you don't have much. I like the way that this has been put on there. This is just contact paper. So if you've got permission from your principal to put things on there, contact paper is an easy way to get a border around a window. And I know one of our teachers is going to be using window chalk to write on here. I like using whiteboard markers as well and they come off with baby wipes. It's really easy. But you know, you've got to make sure you get permission to put stuff on there. But I like this space because your divider is the light. So as opposed to these walls where you might put up a border or leave the green as a space in between work, this one here, the natural light is your border between the work that you would stick up on there. I wouldn't cover up the entire thing because then again, it becomes just a big blur, it becomes a collage, the brain isn't processing it properly and it just becomes a mess. Like naturally separate it. If the purpose is to cover it completely with something, then you know what you're doing. Obviously, that's different. I really do like this contact idea though. You just buy contact, cut it into strips and then it sticks straight on there. When you clean it, you just pull it off and then like I use baby wipes for everything, but there's window cleaner and stuff that'll get it off really easy. Just make sure you get permission first though. Okay, so when you're setting up your room, you've got some basic must-have items. You need blue tack, you need masking tape, thumbnails. 3M hooks are the big winner for me because you can stick them onto any wall and pull them off safely without ruining the paint or the varnish or whatever it is you're using. Even on windows, they're really, really good. You can get them cheap from Kmart. Literally, they're called 3M hooks or removable hooks. They're really, really good. For your displays, laminating sheets, obviously, if you're going to laminate them and have them up there all year round, or at least have them being constantly moved around, laminate those ones. I have things that I say don't laminate, but in terms of your displays, keep it neat and tidy. Always keep it neat and tidy. If it looks ratty and old, reprint it, get some new laminating sheets, because if it doesn't look like you're taking care of it or that you value it, the kids won't value it either. If you've got some other displays that the kids can interact with, like the board that I mentioned in the L3 activities, if you've got that, or I've got the other peg board that I got as well, that's what will engage the kids. If they can interact with the display itself, they're going to value it more, and they're going to remember it, and they're going to take in the information more as well. When I do displays, obviously, I like to pick some themes. So Lego is always a great one. You're going to pick something that you attach to as well, though, because that's a good way for you to bond with your kids. So, you know, if you like owls and you're putting owls everywhere, that's great. As long as you make sure, though, that you find a good way for the kids to engage with that owl theme. So learn about owls, do something about owls, paint an owl, do something yourselves as well. So when you're looking at that display, it's great for you to have ownership over it, but you need to make sure that there's capabilities there for the kids to have ownership over it as well, and engage with it and experience with it and add to it. Your classroom should not look on day one like it's going to look on the last day of term or even the last day of the year. It should be evolving and changing as you grow and adapt and, you know, build your relationship with the kids. Ultimately though, keep it neat, tidy and professional looking. So if your room looks like a cluttered mess, I think you need to reevaluate how you're using things in your room. If you don't have enough storage, then you need to look at some storage solutions or look at decluttering. And if it's looking very chaotic on the walls, think about dividing, think about separating, think about your use of color. Anything too overwhelming is going to be distracting as opposed to appealing or beneficial for the kids. So give it a go. If you've got some suggestions or pictures of your room, I'd love to see them. Drop them in the comments below. If you found this video beneficial, please give me a thumbs up. I like the feedback. I'm going to put my link in here. Whatever side, I'm filming the wrong way, for my subscription button, and I'll link one of my other videos as well. And join me for one of my next ones, which I think is going to be setting up class expectations. Thanks guys, bye.